Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I am your host, Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week. So far, this week's been kind of rocky. I'm
Hmm,
not gonna lie. We had some thunderstorms roll through, and yeah, not a happy camper.
hmm. I can't say the same for me a little bit. Uh,
I gotta turn my
I had
volume up a little bit. There we go.
I had well, we had sunshine and sunshine and sunshine and sunshine, a little bit of clouds here and there, and then some sunshine. So, uh, but my week was all right. Worked a little bit, but it's all right.
That's good. Well,
Yeah,
we have, after this, we will only have 2 episodes left together as a duo, which really makes me sad when I think about it more in depth. But
yeah. It's
also,
like
how's the sound quality, by the way?
sound quality's all right. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
All right,
I'm
I'm just
making
making
sure.
sure.
I'm making sure that I'm all right over here, and
Yeah, I
there's
can hear
no.
you fine.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you fine, so we're good.
Okay. So, once again, thank you all for joining tonight's episode. We hope you enjoy. So, this will be our final random ranking as a duo, and what a better way to end our duo episodes with a Billy Talent random ranking, back where it all began. This is the band that really started our friendship. This was the band, our first band that we really connected on as friends. We both found out that we really, really enjoyed Billy Talent's music, and at the time when we first met as friends, I was a huge fan. Like, I was still going through all of their albums and stuff like that, and I was just like really, really into them at that time. Obviously, I've kind of drifted away from them now. I don't hear them as much anymore. I don't listen to them as much anymore. But every time I do hear them on my playlist, I love it. I just fall in love all over again. So, by the way, also our podcast name is actually inspired by a Billy Talent song from the Crisis of Faith album. So
Mhm.
it's a given that we do this. This is like the best way to end, well, kind of end our duo partnership. So as with any other random ranking, there are 10 songs up for grabs tonight in this episode. So they go as follows: Ghost Ship of Cannibal Rats, Sudden Movements, Devil on My Shoulder, Running Across the Tracks, Rusted from the Rain, making a return again this episode, Worker Bees, as well as Covered in Cowardice. That's also making its return. We literally just had both of those songs on the last random ranking episode for Billy Talent. We also have Viking Death March, I Beg to Differ, This Will Get Better, and a curveball with The Wolf. So this is very Billy Talent 3 heavy once again. I feel like we've been getting that. I don't know what it is. Like a lot of Billy Talent 3 songs. And I mean, it's probably a good thing because I did not give that album its flowers when I first got into Billy Talent. And I feel terrible because I absolutely love that album now after listening to it several times. So maybe it's a good thing we have this happen.
Yeah. I remember like listening to it the first time and stuff. I was like, oh man, like this. I was like, man, this album's like it's the dark album that like everybody that every band has in their arsenal at some point. Um, and because it has like a lot of dark topics to talk about and stuff as well. So I think it's very fitting that we had Billy Talent 3 aesthetic this episode.
It's about time, you know, like
Because because you didn't like the first time around, you didn't give it its flowers. Second time, you're like, okay. And I think it was like maybe like the third time, maybe something like that. You're like, okay, I
it's
didn't give it its
good.
flowers. So I'm glad that you kind of came to see the light. In
Thanks for
the,
putting it that way.
you
I'm
came,
gonna
you
I'm gonna say
see
it
the
right
light.
now. I'm gonna say it right now. Billy Talent, they do not have a bad album. Not even fucking Watouche from the Pez days. That album's not bad either. There's no bad albums at all in their discography, and it's rare when you get a band like that. Like, I'm sure there's some fans out there who are a little more critical than I am and kind of judge more Afraid of Heights stuff and Crisis of Faith. Like, I've heard a lot of people say bad things about Crisis of Faith, which is kind of a shame because I really enjoyed it. But, anyways, moving on. Let's start this at number 10. What did you put for your number 10?
So every time that we do these random rankings, I feel like you're gonna have boxing gloves. I'm gonna hear.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna like wake up one morning. You're gonna be like over my bed, like like just ready to like punch my face in.
Break your
um,
glasses.
like I don't even wear a glove. So, but also with these random rankings, like a lot of these songs I do not listen to because I have a lot of songs on my playlist as
Yeah.
well. But for 10, I put Worker Bees.
I put Ghost Ship of Cannibal Rats at my number 10. Now, it's funny that you put Worker Bees at 10. It's really funny because I mentioned to you already, Worker Bees and Covered in Cowardice we had in the last Random Ranking Billy Talent Edition episode. So they're kind of
Right.
like making a steady comeback. And I kind of like that because those two songs, they're both from the same album. They're both from Billy Talent too. They're both heavily slept on. Nobody really talks about them. I don't think a lot of people talk about Billy Talent 2 enough, my opinion.
Yeah. That came out what,
Oh
06?
six, yeah.
So, and plus like 06, I guess like going into 07, maybe 05 and stuff. Like that's like the era for like hip hop and stuff like that. Like you had like Nelly, you had like Tim McGraw, you had
No,
like all
God,
these
not
like
Nelly.
you have like Nelly, Tim McGraw, Toby Keith, all that stuff. So it's major year for hip hop and country music. It's not more so for rock and roll music at this point. Uh, but especially for like Billy Talent and stuff. Like first album came out what, 02
Oh three.
or 03? Okay, that was close enough. Um, because like that got them on the map, and I think Billy Talent 2 got them
Even
more
further.
onto the map a little bit more. That's what I think, but
Worker bees, man. Like, God, I don't hear that enough anymore.
I don't hear it at all.
That start though, the bass, like I can't actually replicate it, but it's like, man, that's good. March on, worker bees, know your enemies. So I'm assuming you don't hear it a lot. That's why it's at your 10, but it's not a bad song.
Yeah, I just don't hear it enough. Put like some of these songs I do not hear at all. But then it's like one random occasion, like one occasion, it's like I hear it and I'm like, okay. And then it's like it's not on my radar for like the like last 6 days or something. So
For
yeah,
me, with Ghost Ship of Campbell Rats, now looking at this list, this is the only Afraid of Heights track.
which is crazy.
Uh, Afraid of Heights is good. It's really good. I will give them that. But it is the weakest of the links. I'm going to be honest with you. It is the weakest of the links. Hence why I put Ghost Ship of Cannibal Rats at number 10. That freaking song is just like, I don't hear it enough anymore. Shom actually played it for a little while over like the fall or the winter. They played it a little bit, and I was really happy because yes, finally it's getting airtime. It's a good song, but yeah, it's just like it's the bottom of the barrel for me.
Especially like when Ian comes in, Ghost of a Cabaret. uh,
Uh,
that's
moving
a little bit
on.
higher on my list, a little bit.
Hey,
So,
listen, I respect that honestly. So moving on to number 9, I put. You're probably gonna kill me for this one, and I have my reasonings, but I put "Devil on My Shoulder."
what? No, it's kidding. Um, but okay, so that's a little bit way up higher on my list, but I will explain why when we get to it.
Yeah.
Um, I put Covered in Cowardice here.
Okay, that's all right. So I'm gonna just quickly run through mine. "Devil on My Shoulder," man, that's another good song. I think that's Billy Talent 3. Yeah, that's Billy
Yeah.
Talent 3. Man, I always get that and Devil in a Midnight Mass mixed up. Like I always get the mix up like in terms of like which album it belongs to because they
No,
kind of sound a little similar.
because Devil in Midnight Mass, that's 2.
A Devil on My Shoulders 3.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
the only way I could tell them apart is the sound quality. On Billy Talent 3, the sound quality is a little different. It's more like
darker.
dark. Yeah, it's more like rustic. Kind of has like
Yeah.
that rustic sound to it from '09. Whereas Billy Talent 2 with Devil in a Midnight Mass, it's more like produced, more up to par, like for '06, obviously. Um, but man, Devil on My Shoulder, it's a good song. It's just like, it's not as replayed for me as other songs would be on this list. So I had to put it there. It's kind of the same situation with 10. I'm going to be honest. Like, it's kind of the same situation with that.
Right. Whereas me, it's like it's the exact same situation with my 10. Like I don't hear it a lot, and I don't hear it enough, sort of thing. So it's like one of those like again, it's like a rare occasion. It's like Sasquatch coming out of hibernation to find something. It's like, and then it goes back into its cave and stuff. It's like that. I don't know why I compared music to Sasquatch, but okay, we'll just go with it. We'll just go with it. I mean, it's still a pretty good song though, covered in cowardice.
Oh, yeah. Number 8.
I think you're gonna kill me for this one.
What is it?
Sudden movements.
Ah, damn it. Okay. I'm mad and sad, but I'm not going to show it. I'll show it tomorrow.
When you
No.
kill me in Among Us.
So mine comes from Crisis of Faith. I beg to differ. This will get better. I know that may be a little shocking because this song helped me through some tough shit. This song saved my life. In addition to Walk by the Foo Fighters, both those songs combined, they really helped me through a lot of tough times in my life. And they still do. They still help me. My only problem is with this song, I played it a lot. Like I overplayed it.
Yeah.
It's like has too much play value. You know what I mean? It's like I don't really click on it anymore. Like when I go through my playlist, I don't. It's like not my first choice anymore. Like it used to be a couple years ago. But when I do hear it on my playlist, when I click shuffle, I don't skip it. It's still a really, really good song. And I remember when Shom had first aired it back in 2020 when the pandemic had just started. This was my first Billy Talent song, which that's crazy to think about. That was literally my introduction to Billy Talent, thanks to the pandemic and this song coming out right at that perfect moment. So it's kind of bittersweet that the song is on this list tonight because this is our last random ranking together. I kind of feel bad I didn't put it up higher, but I mean, this list was kind of hard for me to rank in general because there's so many good songs here.
I feel like the exact same way with mine too, because it's like there's some songs that have a lot of replay value, but then there's some that I'm like, okay, do I really have to be in the mood for it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want to skip it? Probably not. But if it's like sort of thing where it's like, if I'm in the mood to skip it, I'll skip it. But
yeah.
it's like you just gotta be like in that sort of mood to do that, I guess. And plus with Bake to Differ, I think it's like, yeah, you overplayed it a lot. I think you just overplayed it too much where it was like at the point where it's like, okay, like, you're like, do I really want to skip it? No, but I'll listen to it just to get through that song. And then it reminds me of that one night when we were listening to music, you were just like, skip, 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 skip,
skippity,
skip.
skip.
And then you're like, okay, we'll listen to that one.
Because it's like I get in the mood where like, okay, I want to hear Shine Down, and it's like, no, I want to hear Def
Lonely
Leppard
Island
or Lonely. Oh god, I can't forget those fuckers. Yeah, like I get in those moods where it's like I'm like skipping till I get to like a certain artist or song, but at the same time I'm like skipping over a lot of good songs. But anyways, so what do you have to say about Sudden Movements from Billy Talent 3? Literally everybody hates on this song, and I know that you're not going to hate on it because I know we really don't hate any Billy Talent songs.
No, it's like it's the case of like I just don't hear it enough. I don't hear it a lot. It does pack a punch though. I will say that.
Dark matches the Billy Talent 3 vibe.
Certain movements, and it's just like, it's like, I mean, you can never underestimate Ben's vocal range.
And you even add Ian's too, because like when Ian comes in later on in the song with the backing vocals, it's like, ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing with the Ghost of the Cannibal Rats when you were talking about it earlier. It's like when Ian comes in with the Ghost of the Cannibal Rats, and it's just like you just feel like, I'm like, okay, like, oh crap, okay, well, all right, um, but yeah, it's I'm not gonna knock on any of these songs 'cause it's like they're all good. It's just it's so hard to do it with 10. I can't imagine with it like with 20 or 50.
15 or something, yeah. Honestly, Billy Talent random rankings are probably some of the hardest ones we have to do because literally there's no bad song.
Yeah. There's some that are like,
Some that I care for more than others, but I don't hate
yeah,
them. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
will listen to them.
yeah.
Number
Okay.
7. Number 7. So my track comes from Billy Talent too, and I went with Worker Bees.
I put running across the tracks.
Oh man, that actually hurt me bad. Oh man, really? Why?
For
That
for
fucking
my reason,
the pickup in the middle of the song, like when it gets really fast and like the lyrics get louder and everything gets louder. It's like,
hey,
I fucking
hey,
love that song.
at least it's not at the 10 part, okay?
True, it's like half. It's like almost at the midway point.
Yeah. Um, it's one of the songs where it's like I'm like, okay, I gotta be in the mood for it, sort of thing. Like I'm not gonna skip it. I'm like, okay, like, do I really want to listen to this? Maybe, maybe not. But then like it was like earlier tonight, like I was listening to Dorothy, and then I listened to Hardy back to back,
Ooh,
and then I think I went to another Dorothy song, and then went to fucking maybe Nelly or something. So it's like I am like picking and choosing like which mood I want to be in at that moment, sort of thing.
that's just like me, like constantly jogging back and forth lately between Blink and Foo Fighters. Not even kidding. And then throwing a random Angels and Airwaves song in the mix.
Um, it's I'm not it's not a bad song either. So
No,
um, but hey, at least I didn't put it like bottom 10 or anything. So
yeah. So, worker bees, I mean, we pretty much nailed it on the head. I don't hear it a lot anymore, and it's probably one of Billy Talent's most least talked about songs. Really, really good song, though. It's just one of those, like, kind of funny, like, little Billy Talent songs from their older days. There's really no, like, significant, important meaning to it. It's just kind of like a self explanatory kind of song. Think about bees, think about a hive,
bug
think
bug.
about the queen, the worker bees. Just think about it. I just like the bass, like the startup of the song with the bass line that fucking Jonathan does. Like, I absolutely love that.
Yeah, because Jonathan is the goat.
Fuck yeah. One of like the best bassists I've ever heard. I'm honestly like, he's up there for me with like Mark Hoppus, honestly.
Yeah,
God, can you imagine though if Blink and Billy Talent did like a fucking collab? Like we need that. I've been saying that though with like Billy Talent and Foo Fighters, like with Dave. Like I would kill to see that.
Billy Talent and Foo Fighters was like a reality, I think, too.
God, we need it. Dave, sign me up.
Ben, Dave, Tom, come on.
Oh God. All right, moving on. Number 6. What do you have?
I have Ghost Ship of Cannibal Rats here.
Okay, so I put Covered in Cowardice here.
Okay.
That song is mean. That song is fucking mean. Covered in cowardice, and like fucking Ben's screaming vocals that we're so used to hearing that we all love from the old school Billy Talent days. Which by the way, this was from Billy Talent too. So yeah, Ben's vocals are still pretty fresh and crisp at this point. This is before he started to stop with like he doesn't do as much screaming now because he's gotten older. His vocal cords aren't the same as they used to be when he was in his prime when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love this song. It's just really mean. Like that fucking guitar like I fucking love that. Like Ian is a magician on that guitar.
Mm-hmm. And you can't deny fucking it's Aaron and then Jonathan. Uh, they're the drumming and the bass as well. It's like it completes the whole set because like not a lot of people recognize the drummers as the backbone of the group.
That and the bass players too. It seems like everybody kind of leaves out the bass players.
They think, oh well, yeah, it's just all the lead and the vocals. Is like, nah, nah, nah. It's the bassist, the drummer, the and lead vocals. It's like all four of them or all five of them, whoever is in the group, they all contribute together
Unless
to
you're
make
Slipknot and you have like 8 people.
yeah, and you get rid of fucking people.
Boo! You got him. Yo. I mean, listen, Slipknot fans, it's true. Y'all cannot lie to me that they're literally kicking out the good members. And it's
They
like, what the fuck?
they did a tour without Clown too. Um,
Fuck Clown, though.
but anyway, like drummers and the bass players, it's like they're the literal backbone of the group.
They are. And I
I
really
will
wish
not
that people would, I really wish people would bring that to light. Like, honestly.
because like without them, it's like not gonna work at all.
Exactly. There's no
um,
rhythm. There's
but
no rhythm. There's no
yeah,
tempo.
but with that being said, Ghost Super Cannibal Rex is very fast. I do can say that though. It does pack a punch with it. Um, wasn't this the first album without Aaron, or is it
Yeah,
like
this is where they brought in Alexis on Fire's Jordan Hastings on drums. But
Jordan
Aaron
did
Aaron
fucking
still
awesome?
stayed there as like a background kind of like thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, Jordan did amazing. He was also on Crisis of Faith as well. I think
yeah,
he did great, honestly. You really couldn't even tell that Aaron was missing.
yeah. I think Jordan and Aaron probably like I think they probably contributed like together, like mastering each other's like styles and like comparing notes and stuff, being like, okay, like this is what I would do, but Jordan be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, but I'll add this to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, like I
And
think Aaron still had like a
some
say.
say, yeah,
Yeah, which is good. Like they didn't just shove him aside completely. Like they actually like let him help produce some of the
hmm
albums, I should say, because Crisis of Faith was the other one.
yeah,
I really think he did a good job though. Like, and what's nice is Billy Talent has toured with Alexis on Fire for years, and they have grown really close together. They're really good friends, which is really good, especially considering they had to use Jordan as a backup for Aaron, and I think
hmm
it worked out perfect.
yeah. But with that being said, Ghost Ship of Cannibal Rats, I will wholeheartedly say, like, if you're in the mood for it, I would just say listen to it.
Yeah, give it a listen. Honestly, it's a
Yeah,
kick-ass song.
and a kick-ass album too.
Yeah. All right, top five. Oh boy, this is where things start to get a little interesting. So, at number 5, what do you have?
I beg to differ here.
Wow. Okay, so we both went with Crisis of Faith tracks here. So I put The Wolf. The Wolf has made my top 5, and there is a big reasoning for this one. This song is very different from what we're used to hearing with Billy Talent. Billy Talent's always been known for their loud, in your face, political, like sending a message to your face type of rock. This song is a little more somber. It's a little more bittersweet, a little more sad, a little more serious. There is an orchestra behind this, believe it or not. That's what Crisis of Faith was pretty much all about. It was about experimenting, branching out, trying different things, seeing if they would work. And it worked. This song is amazing. It's one of the best songs Billy Talent has ever done in their lifetime. It is actually kind of dedicated to Gord Downey, who was the lead singer of the Tragically Hip. He had
Mhm,
passed away due to, I believe, he had cancer.
mhm,
This song is basically finding out that you have a terminal illness that you are not going to recover from. That's pretty much what happened to Gord Downey. He found out he had cancer, he's not going to recover, and he ended up passing away. Rest in peace.
mhm.
Um, I love the Tragically Hip, and the fact that Billy Talent actually named their album after the Tragically Hip, because Crisis of Faith is actually a lyric that Gord Downey has sang before. So it's quite fitting, and it's good to see one Canadian band influence another. Um, so I love this song to pieces. I feel like it'd be a crime to not put it in the top 5. It
Mhm.
belongs there. It definitely belongs there. It's so freaking good.
And also, I will also credit Jordan on that track as well.
Yes. Yes.
He did a fantastic job, like setting the tone a little bit. Because it was, yeah, it was like you said, very somber, very kind of like, um,
Dark. It's really dark.
yeah, it was really dark, but also it's like spreading kind of like a message in a way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like Bill Talent did that all these years.
Yeah.
uh, uh, it's like it's like precious the moments that you have before they're gone, sort of thing. Um, but it's also like with the exact same thing with I Beg to Differ too. Because like you said, that song actually helped you stay alive, and still here to this day. And with and also with Walk as well. Um, with the I Beg to Differ one, it's like it's also in the exact same vein as like the Wolf kind of.
Yeah. It's
It's
just so
spreading
fucking good.
it's spreading like a positive message, being like the title says, like, it will get better someday. But it's like, you gotta like put differences aside, sort of thing. Um, and also, like, it will get better today, tomorrow, next week, next year, something,
It's all
something like
about
that.
being patient and having faith in humanity.
Yeah. Um, it's like I had to put it in the top five. I had to, because it was like I was like, if I didn't, I think you would punch me for
Hey,
real.
listen, I'm glad you did. And I'm kind of mad I didn't move mine up a little bit for I Beg to Differ, but I had to make room for the others that are still on the list. And I had
Yeah.
to go in terms of replay value as well as enjoyment.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, good number 5 though. Honestly, solid 5 for both of us.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 4, I have a Billy Talent 3 track right here. I went with Rusted from the Rain.
I did too. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. That song is so good. It's such a classic.
Rusted from the rain.
Man, that song is mean. Like literally all of Billy Talent 3 is just so fucking mean. Like it's just they went
It
hardcore on that album.
it's the bass. It is the bass.
It literally screams like a cool, damp, foggy, cloudy, dark day. That whole album just screams that. And I fucking love it. I really do.
and,
And I love Rusted from the Rain.
and plus the music video had just celebrated its like anniversary not too long ago,
Yeah,
didn't it?
coincidentally, yeah, I shared that with you on Instagram. Coincidentally,
Yeah.
yeah, the music video just hit its anniversary. The album, I think it's hitting its anniversary this summer, so
Yeah.
that'll be coming up. But yeah, "Wrestle from the Rain's" great. Honestly, it sounds really good on the radio. Like, oh my
It,
god.
and plus, like the video itself was like actually pretty cool, like setting, because
Yes.
it's like you see Ian on a bunch of metal, and he's just playing the guitar and all that stuff. And you see Aaron like hitting his cymbals and all that stuff, and but then it's like I think like maybe at the maybe minute and a half kind of mark, it like picks up, and I actually like that like 1-2 punch sort of thing. Um, Rusted, it's like I always get mixed up with Rusted from the Rain and Standing in the Rain.
Oh my god.
I get those mixed up all the damn time. I'm like, okay, wait, is this
Standing
Standing
in
in the
the
Rain? How
rain.
about okay, is this Standing in the Rain or is it Rusted from the
A good way
Rain?
to tell, listen to Ben because Ben's
Yeah,
more squeaky. He's squeaky on Billy Talent 1.
he is.
He's like super young, like prepubescent kind of
Standing
thing.
in the Rain.
When like Billy Talent 3 came around, it's like,
He's
oh
more
shit, like
mature.
they are getting serious. Like they're actually going through more now in life and experiencing things that some people don't want to experience. And it's like they're getting more
Mhm.
serious as time goes on.
Yeah, for real.
Which actually brings me to my next point with my number 3. My number 3 comes from Dead Silence, and it is Viking Death March.
Ooh. Okay, so I have Devil on My Shoulder here.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually hold on. I want to hear what you have to say about that. I'm very interested because it's like polar opposites. That song's like way way low.
So when I first heard "Devil on My Shoulder," I did the exact same thing you did too with "Devil in a Midnight Mass" and stuff. Like got 'em mixed up a little bit,
Yep.
but with "Devil on My Shoulder," it's like "Devil on my
On my
shoulder."
shoulder.
Um, and then you have Ian like over and over,
Over.
and it's like man, like what a way to open an album too. Both have devil in their song titles and stuff, and they both open the exact same way, kind of. Um, but devil on my shoulder, I almost said devil in my ass. Devil on my shoulder, it packs more of a punch because it's like I have been through that situation before, sort of thing. Because like we both have a devil and an angel on our shoulders,
Yep.
sort of thing. Like going through life and going through whatever, but it's
Oops.
always that devil being like, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and then it's like the angel's like, nah, like get out of here, sort of thing. So like I've been in some of those situations before, and it
Yeah.
has more a sentimental value and emotional value for me. So that's why I put up like really, really high. And plus, like, yeah, like I got into Billy Town way before you did, but
Sad face.
but you can't see it, but it's like she probably got a sad face on right now.
I
But
wish I found them sooner. I so wish I did.
but for me, when I listened to Billy Talent 3, oh, that rhymed. I had more of a, I guess, musical attachment to it because yeah, it's their dark album, and when we broke it down and when we went over the meaning for it, I was like, okay, it made much more sense to me in my head. Then I was like, oh, okay, well, it's like it's like how should I put it? It's more trying to think of the verbiage here. Um, it's like trying to help you go through a dark time sort of thing. Like some of these songs, like you can relate to on a
They're
personal
highly
level.
relatable. Yeah.
Um, but that's why I had to put it at number 3 for sentimental value and emotional value. So
Ah, yes. So, Viking Death March. Oh, man. I am a
that,
huge fan of Dead Silence. I mean, a huge fan of that album. That album is my favorite album by Billy Talent by a long shot. I am so hooked on that. And I love everything from top to bottom, every single song, opening to closing. It just sounds like really aggressive. Ben's vocals are at their peak at this point. Like this was like when he was at his peak, in my opinion. I think he was better then than he was in Billy Talent 2 or 1. And that's a strong statement. I am a huge supporter of Dead Silence. Fight me. And Viking Death March is so good. Like that's probably like their leading single from that album. And at first I didn't like it. I'm gonna be honest. At first I did not like that song when I first heard Billy Talent. But then I had to like go back and listen to Dead Silence a couple times. This is before I met you. And I'm
mm,
like, oh shit, this song is actually really fucking good.
mm,
So here we are. And I love that song. It's like down on your knees, you don't look
it
so
looks so
tall.
tall.
I fucking love that. It just like that whole album is about rebellion. That whole album has to do with like protesting about the way the world's becoming. Like you hear in Surprise Surprise, they talk about how this generation is an effing joke. And it
Yeah.
is. Politicians, fucking economy, everything's going wrong. That's why I like this group. Like they fucking bring things to light that people need to see, and they don't try to like do it in like such like a super like forcing manner. They just do it through their music, and that's fucking great.
Mhm.
Viking Death March has to kind of do with like rebellion and stuff, standing your ground type of thing. It's just fucking great. I absolutely love Dead Silence.
And the music video is pretty kick ass too. For
Crosses to burn, axes to fall. Like, can you imagine hearing that and you start moshing? Oh my god, yo, let's do it.
a 2 person mosh pit.
god. Okay, on to the final two. At number two, what do you have?
I have Viking Death March.
Wow. Okay, good, good. Golf clap. I'm happy.
Mhm.
I have the other Dead Silence track, Running Across the Tracks.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. What do you have to say about Viking Death March?
At first, okay, so I think I remember watching this too when I had just first got into Billy Talent like years ago. It was like River Below, Try Honesty, of course. I think I had saw Viking Death March, but it's just like it was in like the analogs of my mind. I'm like, okay, like do I remember that one or do I not remember that one? I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. Then I was like, oh yeah, I do remember watching that video. Um, because it was like I think it was like around like when they were on tour, right? Something like that. I'm thinking I could be
Something
wrong
like
about that,
that, yeah.
but but I do remember like surprise, surprise, and all that stuff. But it's like I'm like man, like some of these videos are like out of this world sort of thing. um, but it is a really kick ass song. I had to put it in number two because it was just like there was one other song that kind of that beats it, but I will get to that. And plus Dead Silence, yeah, it's like it's a banger album from start to finish, so it's like why not put it at number two?
That
So
brings me to my point with Running Across the Tracks. Man, that song's fucking good. It like that little kick up at the middle of the song where like he's like every step that I have to take, I fall behind, I fall. Like it just like keeps going on and on. It's like, and it gets faster too. I noticed there's like a part where it gets really fast and it gets louder all of a sudden. And it's just it's so fucking good. Like it just makes you feel so energized. And Ben's literally fucking yelling these vocals. It's like,
yeah.
Ben was at his prime, and I love that album so fucking much. I actually want to go back and listen to it soon for like an umpteenth time. And the thing is, that album is so hard to find on CD. It is like probably the most difficult album to find right now on CD. I remember before you helped me finish my collection, I was looking on Amazon for that album. I could not find it for nothing.
hmm Yeah, I remember
Somehow
that.
you found it.
It's all in the fingers.
In the brain.
In the brain, yes.
So on to our number one. I have Billy Talent Three's Sudden Movements.
I have the wolf.
Good, good. That is actually probably the best pick of the night for you. That's fucking awesome. Now, what do you have to say about the wolf?
It's I think I'd probably like said like what I had said when you had talked about it.
It's fucking good.
It is good. It's like it has to do with loss and it has to do with like a lot of other things as well. Plus, like you said, Crisis of Faith was like very experimental. Um, I mean, with like the first two opening tracks, it was a two-parter. Like, because like the first one, Forgiveness Part One, it was just like it was like all rock and all that stuff. And then you go into Forgiveness Part Two, it's very like spacey and very out of this world and all that stuff. So it's like it's very very experimental. But then like you get to like I beg to differ, this will get better, and then you get to the wolf. It's like you feel kind of like they're bringing the mood down a little bit, but they're trying to keep it lighthearted, sort of thing. Um, you could probably make the case of like it's kind of a continuation from like some stuff from Billy Talent 3 if you think about it in some aspects because it's like it has to do with dark topics on that album, but then when you go to like I Beg to Differ and The Wolf, it has some uber dark like topics with it because it has to do with loss and like changing your like social norms and all that stuff. um that's what I think, but I don't know what everybody else thinks. But like the wolf as a whole, it's like it is a really good really good song on that album. And plus, like when I was talking about Jordan doing the drums on that song, it's like it fits. It fit perfectly.
It really did,
It,
honestly.
in the art in the orchestra too. Um, which that added like a whole new dimension to it too, which I thought was pretty cool.
I think they did a good job with that album. I don't care what people say. That album is really good, and it has a special spot in my heart, and always will, because that was the first album you and I ever
Or
listened to
did yeah.
together. Yet we stayed up all the way till midnight. This was before we started doing any album pilgrimages or band pilgrimages at all. This was 2022 January. It came out in January. We stayed up till fucking midnight to hear this album,
Hmm.
and we did not regret it. I remember the oohs and the ahs and everything in between, and it was just great. It was our very first album we got to experience together as friends, and it was great. Honestly, it will forever be a little spot in my heart.
Hmm.
So, moving on to Sudden Movements. This is a song that I previously just mentioned how a lot of Billy Talent fans don't like it. I don't know why. I really can't figure out why. It really helps continue that dark, eerie mood of Billy Talent 3. It really helps that. And I remember when I first heard this song, I fell in love with it. I really, really did. And I still love this song to this day. Sure, I don't hear it a lot anymore because I've kind of faded away from Billy Talent a little bit. But when I do hear it, I definitely appreciate it. I absolutely love it. It brings back a lot of memories to when I first heard it. And each time I hear it, I feel like it gets better and better. So it never fails to give me goosebumps every time.
Hey, that's the best kind of goosebumps.
Like the only other song that's done that for me is Reactor from Crisis of Faith.
Yeah.
That song gives me instant chills. I remember when we first heard it,
Yes.
I literally had instant chills. Like, oh my god, that song is so good. But
And we also make a joke about that every time.
oh, every time I play Among Us, which we were supposed to play tonight, but I really don't feel like playing.
I don't blame you.
So, my friends, that wraps up Random Ranking Billy Talent Edition. I actually don't know what episode this is. I don't know what number it is. I've lost track.
I don't even know either. So,
Can you like actually check after we're done recording so I know what to do
yeah,
for the
I
for the
got you.
title? y'all will see the episode number when you guys watch, obviously. But like right now we're recording, so like we don't know. So I
Mhm.
actually am starting to lose track. So oh my goodness. So our next episode, which will be coming out this Sunday, Dystro, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So, not going to go to spoiler territory a little bit, but is another
Debate hour.
debate. Oh,
Debate hour. Our final debate hour as a group.
yes. So this episode is going to be a very lengthy one. I'm going to say that now because we are covering not one, not two, but three tag teams that defied the Attitude Era. And we'll go into like maybe ruthless aggression, maybe,
Yeah,
but
early.
but we're talking about the Dudleys versus the Hardys versus Edge and Christian.
5 second pose.
All right.
It's only been 2 seconds.
Those benefit of flash photography. So I know I was gonna do a rivalries episode on this at some point, but I guess this will give like a little catalyst to continue onto that. I went ahead and did like I guess like I know we're going over like like which team we think is the best and all that stuff, but I went over like their like singles titles and their tag titles together, and just like kind of like conjolted it all together sort of thing. Um, but this one's gonna be tough because I like all three teams. um, but with that being said, I'm not going to go any further than that because I want you guys to just listen to it because like these debate hours, like yeah, it's like it's not really a whole hour, but it's like it's a good debate to have.
It's a good discussion, honestly. Like we've had a pretty good run of debate hours. since we
Yeah.
started this show. It's probably one of our better series that we do.
Mhm.
I hope we never get rid of it. But sometimes it's hard to come up with ideas. And Dystro came up with this idea, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in for the end of May. This will be one of our final episodes we do together. Might as well. So that'll be this Sunday. You guys will not want to miss that. That'll be our final Sunday episode together. And then
Mhm.
we'll have one more episode on Thursday, the final episode of the month, and our final episode together. I'm just going to announce it now. Our very final episode together as a duo, we will be doing kind of a double episode. It's two things in one. It's covering Angels and Airwaves. We just recently finished our Angels and Airwaves pilgrimage earlier on in the month, going into the end of April. We also did the side projects. We did Plus 44 and Boxcar Racer. We're not going to really go over those too much. We might talk about a little bit of them in that episode just to touch base on them so you guys have our thoughts on each of the albums. There's only one album per group for that. Angels and Airwaves, I think they had 6 albums. So this episode, we're going to do the album ranking first, the first half of the episode. And then in the second half of the episode, we are going to do our top 10 songs list for that group. Well, I figured we put it all in one because it's a very, very small pilgrimage. It did not take very long.
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest, it was probably our least successful pilgrimage out of them all.
Yeah, that's
It was rough.
sad.
It was rough. I thought Van Halen was rough. This was a little rougher. And I will not go into details anymore. You guys will see that a week from today, a week from Thursday. So that'll be our final episode as a duo. You will not want to miss that. We will be saying our little goodbye to our duo partnership as we will be going solo after June 1st. Also, you, my friend, have our song for the night. What you got?
So I guess to send it off on a bittersweet note, I should say. I'm going to do The Wolf, I think.
Oh, okay. Crisis of Faith, The Wolf, Billy Talent. I like it. I like it. So, there is no music video for this, which kind of sucks. I really wish there was. But if you guys would like to take a listen to that song, be sure to click on that link in the top right hand corner. It'll pop up at the end of the episode. Go ahead and take a listen. It'll just be the audio. I hope you all enjoy. So, if you guys stick around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to go on ahead and follow us on social media by clicking on that link in the description below, which will take you to Linktree. We have Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. Please be sure to follow us there to keep up to date with the show. Also, Dystro's YouTube channel is there as well. We are rapidly approaching the end of the month. We were hoping to get you up to 1,400 subscribers. What are you at this time?
1,370.
Ah, you're 30 away. We only have like a week left. Come on, people, pick up the pace.
Come on, come on, come on.
But no, he uploads weekly content, whether it's memes or gaming content. We play a lot of GTA in our free time, Skate 3, Roblox, a little bit of everything. So if you haven't checked out his channel already, I would recommend you go ahead and do so. Go subscribe to him and share his stuff around, please. Also, once again, take a listen to tonight's song of the night, The Wolf by Billy Talent. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys this Sunday. Peace.
Peace.